Welcome to CreatingStrongerNations.com. I'm James Mills, coming at you from, well, somewhere between Grenada and Malacatoya, Nicaragua, with our tip of the month. In this month's tip, we begin a special three-part series that journeys throughout Central America to examine leadership in the link. We're talking about the link between the North and the South, and also the link to a dark political past that, only until recently, has begun to see signs of significant social change. To understand how these 7 small countries making up Central America overcame decades of brutal repression and civil war, we'll explore Guatemala's indigenous struggles, Costa Rica's economic vision, and a nation in constant recovery as we begin on a ferry boat in Nicaragua. Just east of the capital city of Managua, and an estimated 20 miles outside of the colonial center of Grenada, we land on a road less traveled to the indigenous village of Malacatoya. Home to about 1,000 residents, villagers here renamed their community Los Angeles when they were forced to rebuild in the aftermath of Hurricane Mitch. Like many communities throughout Nicaragua, Malacatoya was hit hard by the 1998 storm. Fierce flooding left families homeless and hungry, the food supply all but destroyed. But village leader Martin Munoz says from this path of destruction emerged a new beginning for a community that was troubled even before Mitch, a community with few jobs and few basic needs being met.
De ese fenómeno desastroso.
As a result of that phenomenon, that atrocity that seriously affected this country, Nicaragua, this project came to us. The project created that which we now call the community of Los Angeles.
Completed in 2005, today Malacatoya de Los Angeles is safely situated away from the vulnerable coastline where families now live in newly rebuilt rural homes, and children run and play in the Central Park.
Están muy felices porque están en terrenos.
They are very happy because they have their own land, donated to them by Casa de los Tres Mundos Foundation. Thank God, no, that we have Casa de los Tres Mundos.
Grenada-based arts organization Casa de los Tres Mundos is the non-profit group Munoz turned to when not even the Nicaraguan government could provide Malacatoya with much hurricane relief. Sadly, the country's economy has been in shambles, some say as far back as the early 1970s. That's when another natural disaster, the earthquake of 1972, shook up lives and completely destroyed the capital city, Managua.
Looting continued today in what's left of the Nicaraguan capital, with troops doing little or nothing to stop it.
Politically, Nicaragua was on shaky ground at this time as well, under the corrupt leadership of President Anastasio Somoza. Shortly after the earthquake, it would be revealed that President Somoza siphoned off relief money to lavishly fund the National Army, leaving residents homeless and a city in ruins. Meanwhile, a revolution was brewing by the Sandinista National Liberation Front, or the Sandinistas, a group of young, disaffected Nicaraguans whose main mission was to put an end to the Somoza regime. What erupted was the beginning of a historic, decade-long civil war sparked by Somoza's fall and the Sandinistas' rise to Nicaraguan political power. U.S. President Ronald Reagan would condemn the new Sandinista leadership.
President Reagan says Nicaragua's Contras are fighting tyranny and cruelty.
Based on anti-communist Cold War ideology, Reagan would help fund, arm, and train anti-Sandinista rebels, or Contras, in an effort to undermine the Sandinista regime. It would leave Nicaragua crippled politically, socially, and economically. Today, Nicaragua's economy is still in recovery and remains the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And the needs are only mounting for villages like Martin Munoz.
So we have this problem of potable water and nowhere to store it. Another is the streets. We're going to fight for that. And for construction, we're requesting 50 buildings.
To meet these needs, Munoz plans to, once again, turn to Casa de los Tres Mundos for help. The non-profit has won the support of the Austrian government and non-governmental organizations across the globe to help build Los Angeles. It is this kind of leadership that aims to unravel decades of civil strife for the social good of one community at a time. So the tip to take away: great leadership often recognizes its own limitations, and sometimes it requires looking beyond our own government and institutions for help. And in turn, it also may mean reaching out and helping others beyond our own borders as well. Coming up in our next tip of the month, leadership is often built upon stories of inspiration, and one inspiring woman helps us tell a remarkable chapter of indigenous struggle and survival in Central America. Join me, James Mills, as we explore leadership in the link by journeying to Guatemala, home to one of the bloodiest civil wars in the region, and also home to Rigoberta Menchú, an indigenous hero, a Nobel Peace Prize recipient, and a woman born to lead. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on CreatingStrongerNations.com.